Right now, sitting here, breathing, blinking, you are outnumbered, even in your own body. For every one human cell, there are about 1.2 microbial cells, which means you're not even the majority stakeholder in your own body. Now, before you start asking ChatGPT about how do we evict this pesky microbiome, relax for a second because they are not the problem. They are your superpower. Hi, I'm Chandrima Bhattacharya, a PhD student at Weill Cornell Medicine in the lab of Dr. Christopher Mason and Dr. Jan Krumzik. The more I study about this invisible creature, the more convinced I am that microbes are the most underrated superheroes of our planet. So today, let me take you in a journey of their world. Let's begin with you. Human on our own look impressive with big brain, building rockets, building AI. But without microbes, we are not functional. There are around 38 trillion microbes in our own body. And they are not living here rent-free. They are working for us. So remember the last time you had fiber? Your body looks into fiber and is like, nah, I cannot deal with it. Microbes look into fiber like it's the 3-star Michelin meal you have been craving. They break it down into small molecules that fuel your cell, stabilize your blood glucose, and also reduces inflammation. So the next time somebody tells you, listen to your gut, remember, you're listening to trillions of microbes having a board meeting about your health. And yes, you were not even invited. So the next question is, where else do we find these microbes? This is where my research comes in. We built the largest collection of urban microbiome datasets spanning subways across 60 cities and 6 continents. We went to the ticketing machine, the seats, the handrails, basically all the places in a New York subway that you try not to touch. And do you know what we found? It was incredible. Like every city have its own skyline. Every city also have its own microbial fingerprint, which means when I trained a machine learning model, I was able to accurately predict where a sample came from with more than 89% accuracy, just based on the microbial fingerprint. It was as if every city had its own invisible barcode, and microbes were writing it. That's when I started wondering, what if microbes are not just describing an environment? What if they are actually shaping it? Microbes don't just survive in cities, they thrive in places that would instantly kill us. Take Brooklyn, for example. The Gowanus Canal in Brooklyn is one of the most polluted waterways in USA. For centuries, it has industries polluting it with heavy metal, toxic chemical, and even our own sewage. So it was so polluted that the US government called it a Superfund site that required it to be cleaned up. If you fell inside it, well, it's not going to be your favorite day. When me and my team went to Gowanus Canal and studied there, we found that there are more than hundreds of species of microbes surviving in that toxic soup. And they were not just surviving, they were thriving on breaking up the chemicals like toluene, phenol, catechol, all of which are like very harmful to us humans. It was as if the microbes were evolving to eat pollution. And while we humans have been cleaning the Gowanus Canal from the outside, microbes have been doing it from the inside without getting paid and without anyone even noticing. It's not only Guana's canal. Microbes can survive in any harsh location. And sometimes, just trying to survive in this location, they create some of the most spectacular places on Earth. To see that, let's travel to Australia. Lake Hillier in Western Australia is very beautiful. When you look from above, it's like bright bubblegum pink-colored lake. Scientists used to think that it is because of the mineral content. When we went to Lake Hillier to study it, what we found was that it's not the mineral. There are like 500 species of extremophiles. These are microbes adapted to survive in an extreme environment, here caused by the high salinity of the lake. And to survive here, they were producing pigments, red, orange, purple. When millions of them did it together, it made the entire lake pink. This is when it clicked to me. Microbes do not just describe the environment, they shape it. You change the location, you change the microbe. Now, what happens if we want to completely control an environment? To understand that, let's go to the NASA clean rooms. These are places where rockets are built, some of the most sterile and clean area of the world. Human with full body suits, UV sterilization, filtration, and constant cleaning. It is as if humanity's best effort to say, no microbes welcome. And guess who we still find there? Yes, microbes. Because wherever we humans travel, microbes do too. So the idea about constant clean environment is basically impossible. That's when I realized the question is no longer about how do we evict microbes. It's about how do we design with them. We, the modern human being, spend 90% of our time indoors. In building that we design with our HVAC system and filters. But in trying to clean our environment, we might be killing the exact life which protects us. So what we did was to design a green wall. Now, what is a green wall? It is basically a wall inside a building filled with plants. What we found was very simple, but very powerful. Change the plant, change the soil system, and change the hydration, and you change the microbiome. And some of these microbiomes are able to break down the chemicals that our modern appliances and paint release into our air. It's as if humans are making our own area toxic, and microbes are cleaning it for us if we let them to, like they have always done. This teaches us something very simple, but very powerful. The spaces we create do not stay empty. They get filled up with life. And if we don't care, they will get filled up with life anyway, just not with the one that we want. Because wherever we humans go, microbe goes too. In 1969, when humans first traveled to moon, we did not just leave behind flags and footprints. We left behind 96 bags of human waste filled with microbes of our body. At that time, we did not realize. Now, you might argue, moon is a very inhospitable place, but so was the Guana's Canal. So there is a high chance when we go back to the moon, we'll find that these microbes have already set up their board meeting about how to set up camp in moon. Scary, right? But here is the good news. We are coming to an era where we stop becoming scared about microbes, and we learn how to coexist with them, design with them, find new molecules, new drug treatment, and hopefully learn from them so that we can survive our trip to Mars. If there is one thing I want all of you to take back here today from this talk, it's this. We humans are never alone. We carry an entire ecosystem with us, to our buildings, to our cities, and sometimes even beyond our planet. So the question is not about how do we evict microbes. It is about how do we create a world for them and thus for us. Because microbes are not just passengers in our life, they are our partner. And that makes it very important so that we do not only study them and understand them, but we learn how to coexist with them in a more sustainable way. Because wherever we humans go, microbes goes too. Thank you.